Hello there ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to a Northerner reaction video, where today ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be taking a look at our very first reaction to The Big Top with Amanda Holden. As to why apparently that's what they say the show is called. It's called The Big Top with Amanda Holden, which I think is a ridiculous idea. I'm just calling this Big Top from now on. Not that I think it's going to make too much of a difference. Now, in case you don't know who Amanda Holden is, you're not wrong, because as far as my knowledge goes, she was one of the three judges during basically the very beginnings of Britain's Got Talent in the late 2010s, which is kind of ironic because probably during maybe the height of maybe Amanda's popularity is that she got her own show on the BBC called Big Top, which aired in November 25th, 2009. And unfortunately, that's just about all the nice things I've got to say, because from what I've heard, Big Top has the honour and the distinction of being labelled as one of the very worst comedies ever made. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing something very different. I mean, for the most part, I've reviewed shows that I've actually quite liked very much, like Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, despite its very slow start, Parasite the Maxim, Friends. I mean, you want to go through every single show I've looked at since we first started, all the way back to Boardwalk Empire, Sex and the City, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, Dexter. You think of all those, and now we have almost going in the very opposite direction. Now, the premise for this show, if you've maybe caught on to the title, is that it revolves around people in a travelling circus. The fact that this series only had 6 episodes, however, I think is somewhat telling, because there's only so much you can do with this sort of premise, but even if the show had a very short lifespan anyway, it doesn't mean to say that, you know what, it's going to be as bad as it is. Hey, Fawlty Towers only had 12 episodes, and a premise like that you could stretch out for months and months and months, which makes me very, very curious as to working out just what is so bad about Big Top. But unfortunately, the only way we're going to find this out is checking it out for ourselves. So, wish me luck, everyone. There's only one other thing I kind of need to point out just before we get started, is that if this show really is as bad as it is, then I will honestly do a reaction to My Mother the Car, which is labelled the single worst comedy ever made. That's just how bad we're going to try and get to things, because I'm not too sure exactly what to expect or why this is so bad, because bad comedies are actually, in my opinion, a dime a dozen, because there's only so many times you could say that's not funny, and there's only so many other times you could say the writers know absolutely nothing about comedy. But let's see how it works, because on paper some comedies should work time and time again, but let's see exactly what makes Big Top labelled as one of the very worst. Well, okay, let's start off with, we're not off to a good start, ladies and gentlemen. The soundtrack is horrible. It's literally just these obnoxious sound effects you would find in something like CBeebies. That we're not off to a good start.
Please gather round. We have a problem. I found this poster in town today. Circus Maestro. the UK's lousiest circus.
Ooh.
Gasp at our inflated ticket prices, groan at our useless jugglers, yawn at our tedious clowns.
The first joke they tell, or the first thing that the audience laughs at, is that apparently jugglers suck. Even though we've never seen any performance of juggling, and we know absolutely nothing about it. We have no context for this show aside from the fact that this circus is labelled a bad one. That apparently is enough to garner a laugh out of whatever audience they dragged off the streets. This is not a good sign.
You know what this means?
We need a new publicity officer.
No, it means that somebody is defacing our posters. Somebody who hates this circus and wants to destroy us.
But who could possibly hate us this much?
Well, it could be anyone who's seen the show.
No, I think it's Jimmy Steed. His rodeo circus is 2 miles down the road, and this town ain't big enough for the both of us.
But competition is healthy. The better show will prevail.
You're right, I'll start packing.
We're going to fight this, because what they say about us is lies. Are our ticket prices inflated?
No.
Are our jugglers useless?
No.
Are our clowns tedious?
Well, that's charming, that is. Well, if we're so terrible, how can we get a huge cheer when we finish?
I think you've answered your own question there.
I'll have you know that one critic said that we were the perfect act.
He said you were the perfect act for nipping out to the toilet.
That was our nicest review, wasn't it, Geoffrey? I mean, people do need to go to the toilet, so we provide a valuable service. Your father had a clever technique for dealing with rival circus owners.
Good, Georgie, what was it?
He had them beaten up.
Oh, he was such a character, wasn't he? I'm not having anyone beaten. Auntie Helen, any ideas?
Perhaps we could phone in a bomb threat. That way nobody gets hurt.
But what if they do not fall for it?
Ah, that's where David comes in. We strap £5 of plastic explosive to his belly and send him into their tents. Look at the determination.
Bloody double click. Sorry, wait, hang on, what's their plan?
I'm not having anyone beaten. Auntie Helen, any ideas?
Perhaps we could phone in a bomb threat. That way nobody gets hurt.
But what if they do not fall for it?
Ah, that's where David comes in. We strap £5 of plastic explosive to his belly and send him into their...
Wait a minute. Okay, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. So, the show, we're not even 3 minutes in. The show just established the idea that we're going to pose a bomb threat by strapping plastic explosives to this fucking little bunch of happiness dog. We're gonna say... This is a first, ladies and gentlemen, in nearly 600 years of comedy, in the history of comedy. That is, I think, oh my god. They proposed the idea that they're going to send a dog in strapped with What the fuck is wrong with it? Fucking hell, that's... Okay, now I'm beginning to see it, because the show, in its very first episode, in one of the most... That is fucking... I need to shut the window, there's a chainsaw going inside. The show really just proposed the idea that we're going to just blow up a neighbouring circus. Oh my goodness. I'll put my hands up, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can't see him too well, but I've never... That is one of the was the RSPCA or Dogs Trust Own or whatever, were they called about this? Because they just... Animal cruelty, faking a terrorist attack. I am stunned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely stunned.
Tents. Look at the determination on his...
And the audience is laughing at this.
face.
Thank you, Georgie. Moving swiftly on.
And Amanda just dismisses the whole thing. She doesn't even have anything to say about it. She just ignores it and moves on. If I was in this audience, I would boo at that segment. I would wouldn't even give them the satisfaction. Fucking hell. My God.
Health and safety inspection. We need to pass it this time.
Easy way to pass the inspection. When the bloke comes in,
Yeah?
sleep with him.
No, please, Lizzie, no.
Not just like that, obviously. Make it clear it's payment for passing the inspection. What you might call...
Tit for tat.
Exactly.
Lizzie, you are worth so much more than this.
All right, for passing the inspection plus 50 quid.
I'm not going to sleep with the health inspector.
Oh, come on, we've all done it one time or another, haven't we?
I haven't.
I haven't.
I haven't.
I haven't.
Helen?
I don't know. What's his name?
Look, here's a radical option. We could pass the health and safety inspection by being healthy and safe.
Yes, this is a much better plan, Lizzie. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll even wear a hard hat, like, that homosexual pop group.
Coldplay.
Yes.
But Lizzie, we are artistes. You can't expect us to tone it down.
No, you and Auntie Helen are fine.
There's no law against boring people to death.
But you can't honestly say that our act is safe. What about that bit where I hit Helen round the head with a plank?
It's balsa wood, isn't it?
Doesn't have to be.
Right, so health and safety inspection, rival circus, what else?
Well, they do say bad news comes in threes.
Right. I'm off to work on a new routine.
3.
Yes, officer. And I've heard that Jimmy Steed employs illegal child labour to run his circus. And he's incredibly cruel to donkeys.
Lizzie, we got an emergency. Dave has been kidnapped.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. He went to the hairdresser's this afternoon and never came back.
He went out on his own.
He's not a child, Lizzie. Jimmy Steed must have taken him.
Oh, what a relief.
What?
Well, if all he's planning to do is kidnap a dog, then... Well, it's obviously terrible and we'll have to hit back really hard.
I've got some idea.
I'm only just... I don't know whether or not it's just because the show hasn't, like, filled me with much joy as of yet, but does this show have, like, a vendetta against dogs or something? Because there's surprisingly a lot of, like, animal... Can you call this animal cruelty? I mean, it doesn't... Obviously, it doesn't happen, but this show just went from proposing the idea to sending a dog in as a suicide bomber, and then just like dismissing the fact that he's possibly being kidnapped by someone. Ladies and gentlemen, I will admit to you right now, if my dog was kidnapped, I would be like out for blood, because well, what do you expect? That's just something you don't ever do. You don't start stealing people's dogs. I'm not gonna continue this, but I don't know. I just feel like...
Yes, we can poison Jimmy Steed's popcorn.
Hello, are you from Health and Safety?
But what sort of poison should we use? Arsenic, cyanide?
Georgie, this is the Health and Safety officer.
Huh?
Hello.
Oh, right. You know about poison. We need something that's quick-acting and...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm gonna try and keep pausing like to a minimum as much as I can, but when I was 17 years old, we're talking all the way back in 2015. As part of my AS level coursework, I had to study quite a bit of comedy, mostly from Shakespeare, some of it from what was that play, the Rover, I think it was called, and I've looked at comedy very differently since. And they say one of the things you learn about comedy is that there's nothing funny about it, which is a fairly demoralizing sort of thing to think about when you think about it for like a second. But what I think, because it makes, what happened ever since then, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's becoming increasingly obvious to point out the things that just straight up not only don't work, but the things you see time and time again. The one where there's a person in the background and you keep, slagging them off or saying very inappropriate things. I hate that cliche. That cliche is one of the most done-to-death things you could possibly ever do in comedy, drama, you name it. And I know fine well I've seen this guy before somewhere. I don't know if he was like in Stella or some other sitcom of some kind. But I'm trying to like think for 1 second as to whether or not... Well, there was one... The only thing I've really laughed at right now is the show's inadvertent self-awareness as to how terrible their act is. However, ladies and gentlemen, that's... You can't just... That dull, satirical type of humour is, again, it can only go so far unless they're actually going to do anything different with it. Because the show is only unique in proposing the idea that violence towards dogs is funny. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what this show is giving me to work with.
Entries of it.
Yes, shut up now, please, Georgie.
And then we can cut off their caravans with a chainsaw.
Goodbye.
But mind you, it's another thing when you just carry on saying horrible things when you know the person is right here.
He's only joking. We're not really going to poison anyone's popcorn.
Glad to hear it. Any chance of a look around?
Yes, absolutely. But first, let me put the lid back on this very sharp pen. You can never be too careful. Right, a look around. Starting in here. Safety is paramount in our circus. I myself hold a first aid award.
Fire extinguishers all working.
Thank you, Erasmus. Oh, look, here's another random member of our troupe. What are you doing, Boyko?
Funny you should ask, Lizzie. You have caught me checking. Is this him?
Yes.
You have caught me checking to be sure none of the programs can give a nasty paper cut.
Oh, Boyko. Such a stickler for safety. Well done.
Yes, it is important to me that everybody gets hurt and nobody has a good time.
He means that the other way round.
Of course, there's no need for you.
Also, I don't want to say anything against... What did they say was Bruce? I think this... Tomlinson, I think this actor was... He's not... Is he German? Or was he just... Because I wonder what the point of giving him an accent was to work with. Now, he could, of course, be German or maybe or maybe possibly French origin. Just, I'm wondering whether or not... If this was true or not, then what's the point behind the accent? Like, what does this give to the character? That's... You know, let's just go with that.
You two to make love to each other, okay?
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yes. Oh, look, here's Uncle Jeff.
This is Mr. Killjoy himself, is it?
Meet Plonky, our very harmless clown.
Ah, now I hope you haven't got one of those electric shock buzzers in your hand.
Oh, typical health and safety. Where did they find these guys?
I'm so sorry. I've always wanted to do that to a clown.
Yeah, I suppose you've come to censor the show, have you?
No, just checking you're all safe.
Then you wouldn't possibly want to know about my new routine.
Good.
It's literally suicide.
I take that back. Keep talking.
One word, ferrets. I stuff a hot dog down my trousers, send 3 hungry ferrets in after it. The kids love it.
Certainly sounds dangerous.
It's extremely dangerous, which is why Mr. Jobsworth here is going to ban me from performing it.
No, I'm not.
What?
I'm not going to ban you from performing it.
What are you talking about? Have you seen the teeth on those things?
Yes. Yes, I have. They look absolutely lethal. Best of luck.
So that's settled then, Uncle Jeff. We'll see you in the ferrets at tonight's show.
I can't wait.
All right, Jeff, superstar, woo!
Hang on, wait a minute!
Oh, I am so sorry about the rusty nail in that seat. We'll get it fixed. And the woodworm in the tent poles.
Lizzie, it's fine. You've passed.
Really? Oh, I was so sure you were going to fail us on the raw sewage around the hot dog van.
I didn't notice any raw sewage.
Didn't you? Great, we've passed, thank you.
Lizzie, there is one other thing.
Yes?
Would you come out for dinner with me?
Oh, that's a lovely offer, but I'm too busy, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Another thing I have to point out, they've literally only just met. Why does he suddenly want to take Lizzie? I'm not questioning the show. Because you've just met and you're already wanting to take her out to dinner. Isn't that a bit creepy to you? Like...
If you do change your mind, I'm going to stick around for the show.
To complete your report?
No, to see that clown get castrated.
So, did we win him over?
I think we did. He asked me out.
Oh, how exciting. Where are you going?
Oh, nowhere. I can't have a relationship. We're always on the road.
We travel round 6 sites in North Staffordshire. It's not round the world with Michael Palin.
I know, but he's not my type.
Oh, Lizzie, what is your type? Whenever I set you up with nice men, you always say they're freaks.
They are always freaks. Rover, the dog-faced boy. Glandular, the world's fattest man.
What about that nice fellow with the beard?
He was a bearded lady. This is why I don't let you matchmake.
Well, that inspector didn't look like a freak.
No.
Though, of course, you can never be totally sure until you see them with no clothes on.
Maybe I was a bit.
I'm just gonna leave that in the ever-increasing pile of things that maybe they should have thought about saying, or at least considered going over this again before they, decide to shoot this. It's funny enough that they mention, writers and who was starring in it, but I haven't seen, evidence that an editor was working on this show.
Bit dismissive.
Even then, you have to look really, really closely. I remember my first night with Jeff.
Do you know, I think you're right. I'm going to call him.
Lizzie? Things have escalated. Jimmy Steed sent this.
We have your dog. Hand over £200 or you'll never see his little wet nose again.
Outrageous, isn't it?
I know. 200 quid. You could get 5 new dogs for that.
You'll pay it, of course.
Georgie, I can't. That'll be letting them win. Surely there's another dog you can use for now.
Another dog? David and I are a team. David and I have a unique rapport. You can't just replace that.
For a 20 quid bonus?
I get Fido.
Hey, what a handsome animal. Such nobility. When did Fido pass away?
1998. You can just see the mark with the coat chipped him.
I don't think the audience might notice.
I'm going to glue a bit of corduroy over it, so hopefully no. And of course, nobody will be able to tell once he's on the motorbike.
How the ferrets, Jeff? Nice and bloodthirsty?
Yeah, I couldn't get ferrets at such short notice, so I got the next best thing.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah, they're actually quite vicious. Like hairy piranhas, teeth like razors. It's a little known fact.
Thing is, Jeff, knowing how much you really want to do this act, I've got my hands on some actual ferrets.
Oh, that is so lucky, isn't it, Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mate of mine at Liverpool Dock found them. In a fruit carrier from Ecuador. Haven't had fresh meat in months. Here you go.
That's awesome news, isn't it, Jeff?
It is.
Say thank you to Erasmus.
Thank you, Erasmus.
All right, this is going to be the best show ever.
Right, I've got a good feeling about tonight.
And we all know why that is, don't we?
No, Auntie Helen, shush.
You know what's just occurred to me? It's literally just sprung into my mind, literally about a minute ago. But they've taught. There's no swearing in this show, is there? There's nobody who drops the F-bomb. There's nobody who even remotely tries to say anything bad. But with that being said, the things they said about, animal cruelty and all that is one thing. And the fact that the jokes, for the most part, are just kind of there, to be honest. The jokes are just kind of there. Would it not hurt the show in any way whatsoever to, have a character, swear or even... I don't know, the jokes so far in this show just seem to be a bit wet. There's nothing really, outrageously inventive or creative about this idea. And for the fact that it takes place at a circus, there should be, something a bit more zing to this. There should be something a bit more, there should be something special about this, but there isn't. There's nothing special about this show, aside from the fact that it's just not nice to watch.
It's because Lizzie's got a date.
The health and safety guy, you saucy little minx. Agreed to sleep with him for passing the inspection.
No, we passed the inspection before I agreed to... I didn't actually agree to do anything. He's just coming round to my caravan for dinner.
I'll get you some nice music.
Please, Lizzie, you do not have to do this.
Yes, she does. Of course, you'll have to film the dirty deed in case we need to blackmail him afterwards.
If I'd got a studded leather collar, I could lend you.
Thank you, and the meeting ends here.
Lizzie, listen to me. You are seeing this man for all the wrong reasons.
No, actually, I'm seeing him because I quite like him.
But this is the worst reason of all. Tonight, I will throw myself from the trapeze.
Really? You might need this then.
It's quite a show. Never seen anything like it.
You really enjoyed it, honestly?
Well, where else can you see a tightrope walker, a stuffed Alsatian on a motorbike, and a man having his privates savaged by ferrets and still have change from a £20 note?
I'll put some music on. Oh! Thank you, Erasmus.
God, it must be fascinating living in a circus. I mean, usually when I go out to dinner, everyone ends up talking about house prices and mortgages.
Oh, I know nothing about mortgages.
How refreshing. Or you could go for an interest-only mortgage where you basically service the interest on the original loan, promising to repay the total amount at the end of the term.
At the end of the term. It's fascinating. Tell me again about trackers.
Lizzie, I'm boring my own buttocks off here. Surely not interested.
I am, actually. It's the first time all week I've been able to close the door on the circus.
Ahoy there! I'm not interrupting, am I?
Yes.
I enjoyed your act tonight, Ponky.
Yeah, the ferret seemed quite enthusiastic too.
It looked like they had a ball.
You're supposed to be a health expert. Tell me. Does that look septic to you?
Uncle Jeff, please!
Honestly, tell me. How long do you think I've got?
About 5 seconds. We're trying to have dinner here now. Take it to Casualty.
No, I'm not taking it to Casualty. They take the mickey out of me in Casualty.
Get out.
Oh, Lizzie, I'm so sorry about Jeffrey's behaviour back there.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I've told him not to do that at the table, but he never learns.
Okay, it's fine.
And on the subject of apologies, Boyko.
I'm sorry for throwing the sword at your head.
It's all right. No harm done.
And?
Lizzie is a very special lady. You are a lucky man, and I wish you a lifetime of happiness together.
Thanks, it's just dinner.
Well done, Boyko. Be strong.
If he hurts her, I will roast him on a spit and feed him to his grandmother.
Sweet.
All these visitors. It's like the nativity story. Look, this one's even brought a gift.
Oh, Georgie, can't this wait?
No, the kidnappers have sent this. It's David's.
Oh my God, what is it?
Look for yourself.
Oh! Disgusting, Georgie! Get it out!
It's definitely David's. Look, you can see his favourite biscuit in it.
Georgie, just get it! Take it with you!
This show is just is so, oh my god. You know, the show seems to think just any old embarrassing, any old rude, any old BS is funny, because it almost made me forget to realise that somebody also suggested the idea of revenge porn. I'm done. I am so done with this already. I am just fuck this show.
Shall we lock the door, do you think?
They won't stop them. They'll use the windows.
Now let's try to relax and enjoy the evening. Leave it, it'll keep. I'll deal with it.
Howdy.
Who are you?
My name's Jimmy Steed. Little message for you, partner. You limeys want to learn to quit messing with my circus. We ain't got smallpox, and I ain't been abusing no donkey.
Sorry, I really didn't follow a word of that.
So, did you and Andy have a nice evening?
That depends on whether he enjoyed being punched in the face by Jimmy Steed and having a dog poo waved under his nose.
And did he?
I'm guessing no.
It's a shame. Did you like him?
I did, yeah. He was telling me all about mortgages. Apparently, you can have a fixed rate or variable, which can be cheaper but might increase if the interest rates go up.
Oh, it's another world, isn't it?
It really is.
Hello? Anyone in?
Oh my God, is that as painful as it looks?
Well, I didn't get much sleep last night. Every time I closed my eyes, there was a clown pulling down his trousers.
Sorry about that.
Not what you expect to see on a first date.
No, though I saw it on our first date.
Auntie Helen?
I can't promise that next time will be as memorable.
Next time? You want to see me again?
Friday? Not here. You come to my place and I'll cook.
Oh, I can't. We do a show every night.
But I'm asking you to miss one show. When was the last time you had a night off?
2003?
Well then, one full night off. Take your mind completely away from the circus.
Look, I'm not sure.
They've sent another message. It's definitely David. I taught him that bark as a distress code.
What time can you pick me up?
Goodbye, Lizzie. You will always have a very special place in my heart.
I'm only going away for one evening.
I ask only that you think of me from time to time, and that you take this.
Oh, it's very nice.
If you ever need me, you press this button, and I will come for you.
Thank you very much.
It's all right for some. When do I ever get a night off?
Jeff, please take a night off.
Right, I'll be away for less than 24 hours. Are you sure you can manage?
Yes.
I've written down some emergency numbers, and if any strangers come, you just tell them I've popped out for 5 minutes.
Lizzie will be fine.
Auntie Helen's in charge, and I don't want any of you playing up for her, all right?
They'll be good as gold. You go and have a lovely time.
She's gone.
Yes! Hey, everybody! Look who I found!
David! Oh, I'm so pleased.
Where'd you find him, Bolko?
In a box, underneath Georgie's caravan.
You know what this means? It was a scam to get the ransom money.
You mean David faked his own kidnapping?
Yes, naughty David.
But if Steed didn't kidnap David, Steed's revenge is yet to come.
Yeah, somehow just having a wild... Also, they didn't even say they paid up the money anyway. They didn't even give him a... So, somebody kidnapped him back, perhaps? How does that work?
My God, the size of this place.
I know it's small, but it's home.
It's a mansion. Look at this. Your kitchen and your toilet are separate. There's an actual wall in between them.
You have been in a house before.
Oh, God. You've got stairs.
Yeah, there's a loft as well, but I don't want to give you a heart attack.
You must think I'm a bit bonkers.
Well, yes.
I'm just nervous, you know, because it's showtime.
A man could misinterpret those words, Lizzie.
I mean, at the circus. It's the first time I've ever missed a show. What was that noise? That was a fire engine. That was definitely a fire engine.
Lizzie, the circus is 20 miles away.
Well, they're never going to get there in time.
Don't you think it's possible that maybe they can survive without you for one night?
No.
Lizzie, come on, they're mature adults. They're probably getting on really well.
You ruined my act, you idiot!
No, Jeff, you ruined your act by being in it.
When we come on, you're supposed to play the music from Looney Tunes, not...
Hitler's speech to the 1935 Nuremberg rally.
You idiot! I've a good mind to phone Lizzie on you!
I wasn't concentrating.
Well, concentrate on my fist, sunshine!
Will you stop fighting, you two? Why can't you be more like Boyko? He's not shouting, is he? He's sat there happy as Larry.
Lizzie is lost to me forever. Tonight, I will throw myself from the high wire and break into 1,000,000 pieces like Humpty Dumpty.
If you ask me, we're all worked up about that Jimmy Steed fellow.
Hey, Isn't it weird that Jimmy Steed hasn't tried any sabotage? Hang on. Maybe doing nothing is Jimmy Steed's sabotage. Making us nervous, making us turn against each other.
Jeff, someone's let your ferrets out.
Or maybe he's just let your ferrets out.
He's done what? Where are they?
Don't panic, Jeffrey. They'll probably just run away.
No, they've got the taste of blood now. They'll attack.
What if they bite one of the children?
No, stuff the kids. It's my blood they've got the taste for.
It'll be fine. All those jabs you had at the hospital.
No, we need to phone Lizzie, get Lizzie back.
No, we can handle this. We've got to catch those ferrets without the audience noticing.
How do we do that?
We need someone who knows them, someone who's had the jabs, someone who's worked with them before. There's only one person for that job.
David Attenborough.
No.
What?
I know I keep going on, but you're right. They're professionals. They know what they're doing.
Exactly. What could they have done? Electrocuted the audience? Lizzie?
That happened one time, but it was only once.
Why don't you ring them? Might stop you worrying.
No, I won't let them ruin the evening. Tonight's about you and me. I shouldn't worry about some terrible disaster at work, or the acts fighting each other, or the audience being injured, or some terrible catastrophe happening to the circus, meaning we're finished forever.
What's the number?
077.
Another ferret over here, Jeff. Don't shake your legs, they'll lose their grip. Hello?
Erasmus, it's me. Is everything all right?
Fine. Going well. I thought you were taking the night off.
I am. What's that noise?
It's applause. Good audience tonight.
Haven't you had enough by now, you little devils?
See? They won't let us finish. Got to dash. Oh.
Bye.
Could you imagine what it must have said in the script where it said, George must shake around violently as though he's trying to, hypnotise his poo to go back up his body? Like, I know we've got 5 minutes to go. My God, this show is a drag.
So, what's the big crisis?
There isn't one, apparently. Seems they can do without me.
You sound surprised.
I am a bit. After all, they are complete idiots.
They truly are. But you've taught them to fend for themselves.
Keep talking.
Well, you're like a mother duck who's taught her ducklings how to swim, and now they're safe in the pond on their own.
That is the nicest duck comparison I have ever had.
And if they can cope without you, that means you can cope without them.
That was a disaster.
Disaster.
I'm bitten to pieces, but at least I'm still alive.
That's what I mean, disaster.
I should tear your little head off.
Calm down, Jeff. You've lost a lot of blood.
Excuse me, who's the man in charge?
He is.
I just wanted to say thank you. First circus I've seen in 50 years and I loved it. The grandkids loved it too. Thank you all very much.
Well, there's no need for sarcasm.
I think he meant it, Jeff. I think we managed. We beat Jimmy Steed and we got through the show on our own.
Yes. Yes, we did. Do you by any chance fancy going for a drink?
Don't mind if I do.
I had a great night, Andy, thank you.
It's good to see you relax.
Relax and think, actually. Maybe there's more to life than Circus Maestro.
Morning, lovebirds.
Back to reality.
Good night, was it?
Was actually. Good show?
Fine, no big problems with her, Jeff.
No, nothing major, no.
Nothing to report at all?
Not really. All fairly uneventful.
Right. So where's the tent?
What, sorry?
We swapped it for a green screen.
The tent? The big canvassy thing where we keep the circus?
I told you she'd notice.
Oh, yeah, there was that one thing that did happen.
We went to the pub.
What, all of you?
No. Helen and Bonko stayed behind to look after things.
And?
Jimmy Steed told him he was from the council's big top inspection department and they helped him dismantle it.
14 hours I was away, during which time you killed my circus by going...
Straight for the juggler.
Shut it.
Lizzie, calm down. Maybe we can look at this as an opportunity.
An opportunity for what? My circus has been nicked.
An opportunity to walk away and start living your own life. You said yourself these people are idiots. You've wasted I don't know how many years of your life on them. And if you don't make a break soon, you'll be trapped here forever. And you could be so much more. Get a real job, find a nice bloke. Stop wasting your time.
Get out.
Sorry?
No one calls my team idiots.
You call them
Except me. Now, I have learnt a very valuable lesson today, which is these guys need me, don't you?
Not really.
I need you, Lizzie.
Not really, because you lost this. You friggin' morons lost the circus on your own after one night. Yeah, of course you need more than just help.
Like an apple needs a maggot. We are nothing without you.
Not much with her.
Right, get out of my circus.
What circus?
Oh, field then. Get out of my empty field.
Lizzie, think about what you're doing with your life.
Hey! You heard what the nice lady said? Sunshine outside!
Lizzie, you're wasting your life on idiots. Lizzie!
Right, the rest of you, let's get down to Jimmy Steed's circus and take our goddamn tent back. Come on, Georgie, shift.
Lizzie,
Yes, Uncle Jeff.
please don't leave us again.
Of course not.
Hang on, the tent's right there. Okay, so did they actually just... So they decided not to show them actually getting the tent back. Okay, I suppose. Someone's in the shouting at any
Mr. Mead becomes the butt of an internet joke in Waterloo Road, next year on BBC One.
Okay, a few things also. Let's just talk about a few other things. The first off is the fact that the guy announcing the Waterloo Road coming up next, he doesn't even have anything to say about the show. He just says, well, next up on BBC One, Waterloo Road. I think he just didn't want to talk about it. That's what I'm thinking. There wasn't even like a laughter but the show is over. There wasn't like a round of applause or anything like that. They just wanted this to be over with. And I don't blame them. Well, that was an absolute disaster. This show is mean-spirited, not funny. The jokes are infantile at best and horribly misguided at worst. Some of the things they said, like revenge porn, a fake terrorist attack, animal cruelty, and also, I love the fact that when Lizzie tells Andy to get out of her circus, there isn't like an applause from the audience saying, well done, Lizzie, you've made the right choice. There's nothing like that happens, which leads me to suspect that maybe Andy has an absolute point. Because, let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly does Lizzie have that gives her any motivation to stay? Her team? Or the fact that she actually likes her job? Or the fact that her team are just... I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I do not know what anyone would see in this. And I'm not even... And you know what? I'm beginning to suspect that nobody saw much in this show either, considering its incredibly short run. In fact, I'm wondering straight up right now how this show even got green-lighted in the first place, let alone lasted for 6 episodes. Which leaves me... This now leaves me in 2 very specific sort of scenarios. The first is I could literally just stop right here before it gets any further, because this was the first episode. This is what introduces us to the show. Its concepts, its characters, and what exactly have we learned in this show? Well, aside from the fact that there was nothing stood out apart from it's straight up mean-spirited humor towards dogs and among other things, that the audience just seems to gleefully laugh at. You know what, I'm beginning to suspect also this was not like a laugh track, because my goodness, they could have just put in any phony, you know, round of applause near the end of the show anyway, so there is also that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let's just be real. The other option is I continue just to see if this show gets any worse from here. But my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we're not this. How could it get any worse than this? Well, if I do make another episode of this, I think we'll find out shortly. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this reaction to Big Top. If you did like it, for what it was worth, and I will hope to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye bye for now.